Welcome to Reality Tea Times 2, the podcast where we discuss all the trash reality TV we love to hate. I'm Tanika, and today we are going to be discussing The Bachelorette. But before we do, we're going to jump in with some hot goss. So, Below Deck Med's Katie Flood, who I can't remember for the life of me, revealed that she dealt with issues while working with Ellie. During the Monday, August 12th episode of Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen, did I say 80? What's wrong with me today? Katie was asked how she would deal with Ellie and Bree's feud. She said, "I've actually experienced the same situation. Ellie used to work for me. And Katie actually appeared on season 6 of Below Deck Med. Still can't remember her for the life of me because I definitely was watching at this point. Anyway, Katie didn't offer any more details, but did offer advice. She said, quote, "It's a really hard situation," and how Aisha was saying she's getting Ellie's side and then getting Bree's side. It puts you in a really weird situation because you don't know who is telling the truth. Katie continued, "It's all about communication, and I would have just nipped it in the bud right at the beginning and told them to both get over it. After initially becoming close on the mystique, Bree and Ellie ended up divided, as we know, due to fucking Brad. So, Joe? I think it's Joe Bradley. That's fine. But anyways, that's basically it for that. We're going into a different territory. We're going to do a transition into the Bachelor Nation so then we can just easily go into the episode. And that is, we have the cast of Bachelorette, Golden Bachelorette. With Joan, we have our cast of our men. So we have 24 contestants. As we know, the show is going to be premiering on September 18th, so in just about a month. And here is the men that we have, and of course, I will be posting these pictures, so here are the men. We have Thomas H. I don't have, information about each person, but we're just going to say the names. So we have Thomas H. We have RJ, Pascal, Pablo, Michael S., Mark A., maybe Mark Anderson, yeah, Kim B., Ken O., Keith G., Jordan H., Jonathan R., Jack L., Guy C., Greg L., Gil R., Gary L., David H., Dan R., Christopher S. It's our second person of color. Well, black person, I should say. I think his name is Chalk. Interesting. Charles L. Charles K. It's our third person of color. The person prior is Asian, so we have some differences up in here. Robert K., which kind of gives me, what's his name? Leslie, what's his last name? From not Top Gun, Naked Gun. And, he kind of has that kind of look to him. But, anyways, yes, we have that Bill, who's a decent looking guy. And those are our men. So, of course, again, I will be posting the pictures on our socials once this episode is up and loaded. And, we will go from there. And we're definitely looking forward to the new season. So with that in mind, we're now going to transition into the episode. Now, the plan was to have recorded this with Ava. There's a little bit of a mix up with recording. So what I'm hoping I can do, we might have a change, but we'll see what happens. What I'm hoping we can do is I'm going to do the first half of the episode, which will be the one-on-one dates. And then usually, because I usually go in order of the dates, but because the main reason I know that Ava wants me on this episode was to talk about the group date. So the group date will be done last along with the rose ceremony. So we will be doing the group date, rose ceremony at the end of the episode this time. Obviously, rose ceremony is always at the end, and we're going to do both one-on-one dates now with just me, and we can kind of talk about it now, and then we can kind of talk about it with Ava a little bit, but I think the main focus will be the group dates or the group date and predictions that we have. So we'll talk about that. With that in mind, let's get into it. The reason that we're here, Bachelorette Season 21, Episode 6. We're on week 5, and we are in Seattle? Question mark? We're back stateside in Seattle, Washington, which is, whatever's fine, but Seattle? But I figure we're back stateside because we're going into hometowns next week, so we just wanted to be, I guess, closer to home. But here we go. We have Charity here coming to talk to Jenn about her journey thus far. And in this conversation, she does kind of mention to Charity that, a couple of the guys that she maybe feels like aren't fully opening up with her yet. One of those people being Sam. Could be one of those people who is holding back from her. And she also mentions that he kind of reminds her of one of her, exes, her past relationships. So that's a very interesting take. Hold on to that. She does kind of use the term red flag, which is very interesting. She also thinks that Marcus could be also one of the people who are also holding back a bit, which is very interesting. I mean, I feel like Marcus, I'm going to have my predictions as we we'll wait till we have Ava on the episode towards the end, and we'll kind of talk about it. But I definitely have my thoughts about Marcus. He's one of my favorites. He still is. But I do wonder if the reason that maybe he is holding back is because he has a lot of traumas in life. A lot. And that could be definitely a reason why he holds back. And I think it is definitely understandable for him to be holding back due to those traumas. And we'll kind of get into the traumas did not start or end with his time in the army. So yeah, there's a lot going on here with him, and I think those are the reasons, and it's understandable. But she does seem to understand that. She does kind of say like it is hard for him to open up. So we'll get to that. But let's move on. We are now with the guys at the hotel, and so it's really cool. It has old school records on the wall, and it's very music-y, which I think is really cool. It's a really cool kind of setup. But then we got a date card, and it is a one-on-one date, and the person who gets that one-on-one date is Marcus. But not only does he have the date card, but he also has a gift box, and we'll talk about what's in the gift box in a minute. But what is on the date card is "Let's Find Love in Emerald City." So the thing that was in the gift box was a Letterman's jacket. And we don't understand why the Letterman's jacket is a part of this, and I still don't. So we'll get to it. But he's wondering, Letterman jacket, I wonder what that's stuff for. But we'll figure it out. So we're on the date, and while we're kind of just, walking around, we have Jesse pulling up in one of those, touristy, bus thingies that they have in, San Francisco. Yeah. So, yeah, he's pulling up in one of those, and he's like, listen, we're celebrating Wicked that's coming out this Thanksgiving in theaters. So we're going to be kind of having a little fun with Wicked. She says she's seen Wicked on stage, which I'm so fucking jealous. I remember telling my mom actually very recently that Wicked was one of the ones I wanted to go see when it first came out. I was a kid and I wanted to go see it so badly. I loved Wizard of Oz growing up. And I really wanted to see Wicked. And it just, oh God, I'm still jealous that I haven't gone to see Wicked. On stage. I don't know, it did come back, or it is coming back to Toronto. And I was like, can we go? I want to go so bad. But, that being said though, I'm definitely excited for the movie. Because if I can't experience it on stage, well then I'm at least going to experience it in movie format. So there you go. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be celebrating Wicked. Since we're in the Emerald City, I guess Seattle's known as the Emerald City, so that's what we're going to be doing. We got, they kind of arrive at this curtained off area. It's again a green curtain, very Wizard of Oz, and we have like this carved off green curtain, and they open the curtain, and we see a yellow brick road, and we're going to be following the yellow brick road in about a minute. But before we start following the yellow brick road, we do see Kelsey and Daisy. I'm so excited to see Daisy. I love Daisy so much. But yeah, they're both here. Sorry. They're both here. And basically we're going to be doing kind of playing this little game of them following the yellow brick road, going to these different areas where they have like two choices and they have to choose one choice, but they have to kind of talk about and compromise with whatever that choice is going to be. So like the first one they go to, they have a choice of spicy or sweet. They both decide on spicy, and it's a plate of peppers that they have to eat. So yeah, they go to another one that says like scream or whisper. So they both decide on scream, and they get to scream their feelings. So they do that. They have another part where I can't remember what the options were, but they ended up doing like a pillow fight. It's, they're having fun. And I wrote here, I felt like it was very distracting, but whatever. I'm like, where are all these people? Are they extras? Like, what's going on here? Or are they just there, like, just perusing? Like, it's so weird. But I feel like it just takes away from all of it. So get the people away. You can do it. You can literally carton off an area. You have to pay money to do so, but you literally carton off an area. Is out of that or they're extras? I didn't like it. So the last choice that they have to kind of make is whether or not they're going to go fast or if they're going to go slow. He says slow. He's more of a slow burn. He wants to go slow. He's probably also, that's like the fear of going too fast, right? You want to take time. Whereas she is more of a fast girl. She would prefer to go fast. And what I didn't like here is her saying, that's a concern for me, that he is more of a slow burn when I'm like a fast girl. And I'm just like, but why does it have to be a concern? Like, if it's a slow burn to detriment, that's one thing that you can address. But like, this process is so fast fucking moving. It's not real life. And it can work. We'll talk about it. We have like Jason and Molly, for example, who've been together for 15 years. How the fuck has it been that long? Like, I remember I remember his season. How it had been 15 years. I remember Trista's season. How's it been 21? How am I so old? Jesus Christ. Anyway, so yeah, it doesn't always work. Obviously, it's worked for Trista. They've had some issues though along the way, but it gets to a certain point where it's like, okay, just having regular marital issues anyway, so it's fine. But, whatever. Jason and Molly been together 15 years. It's great. I think Ari and his person are still together. Sometimes, yes, this can work. But 9 times out of 10, I mean, the statistics that this works versus doesn't, it's in favor of it doesn't. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't really, like, I just know how easily this works. So I think a slow burn is fine, personally. But anyway, they do, agree on the fast. And there's like a bell. So they ring the bell, and here comes Kelsey and Daisy on this, like, one of those like bike things, whatever. They go on themselves and they're riding over to Charity. And Charity has, like, you have these bubbles that you have to pop and whatever. So they do that. Did I skip over Trista? I don't think so. I think Trista comes last. Anyways, so yeah, they do these bubbles balloons that they basically have to pop, and it has like these moments in there that is obviously going to be great talking points. So the first one they have is it's Marcus's moment. It's a picture of him with his sister when he graduated from the cadets, and his sister, he says, is very important to her. We're going to get more information on that, or to him, sorry. They pop another one, and it's a TV with a message from his sister. And then she pops another one, and this time it's a letter from her mom that is so sweet. It's very emotional. She literally is kind of like apologizing for, being in a single person household and like not having a two-parent home, which is, out of her control. Her husband was an asshole. So it's just like, yeah. And we go onto the yellow brick road again, and here's where we see Trista, and we're going on a hot air balloon ride. So back with the guys, we do have another date card. This time it's the group date card. So that is Spencer, Jonathan, Sam, Devin, and Grant. I want to love that listens. That's what the card reads. And that means Jeremy is getting the other one-on-one date. Grant is, a little bit salty that he didn't get the one-on-one date, but my guy, he literally just had one like the week before. So the fact that you thought you were going to get another one that soon is a little bit delusional on your part. Anyway, back at the date, Marcus tells her that he did not come from a perfect family, that he definitely seems to relate with Jenn on that. And he says, me and my sister, we weren't born into like a great family. They were born into a rough situation. He didn't really elaborate on what that situation was, but nonetheless, a rough situation. He says that his parents one day decided, due to the fact that they couldn't really take care of them, that they dropped them off at daycare and then never came back to pick them up. You are a piece of shit. You are a piece of shit. Imagine your kids wondering where the fuck you are and you're not coming to get them. I hope they got arrested. I really do. They abandoned their kids. Anyway. So they were put into foster care due to this. Every time they had like a hope that maybe they had found the family that was gonna keep them, that family would end up changing their mind and they would end up right back into the foster care system. That is horrible. So basically because of that, they basically have each other. They rely on each other. And that's why they have such a close relationship, which I think is very understandable. But he does say that he does want to have a love where, they will basically stay. They will always constantly choose each other when everyone else in his life has left. That's really sad. She does give him a rose, and now we're basically looking to the western skies and watching a fireworks display. So that is basically that for that one-on-one date. Again, now we are going to be heading into the second one-on-one date, which is going to go pretty quickly here just because, it's not much to really say. So we're at the date with Jeremy. And we're at a farmer's market. And he makes her like a bouquet of flowers. And I thought it was so cute that she calls him Jer Bear. It's very cute. So we do like a palm reading, and this palm reader is like, oh, you need to give her flowers. That is so weird because I did that already today. And she's like, you're a drummer, Jeremy. You have drummer hands. And he's like, I was a drummer and you're good at martial arts. I was good at martial arts. How do you know this? Anyway, we got fish throwing at one point. Then we got, I don't know what I wrote here. But anyways, they are then sitting down to eat. And he does ask, well, how was your night the night before? Which again, we haven't discussed yet, the group date. But she does say, it was confusion. but she does currently feel better in this moment, so that's good, at least that. So now we're at the night portion of the date, and he, a few times during this date, he's asked her, like, when they're in, like, kind of secluded areas or, like, dark areas, he's like, are you gonna murder me? Like, what's the fear of being murderized? My goodness. Anyway, she asks, what about me makes you want to propose? Because obviously, coming off of the group date, she is concerned that people maybe don't have a reason as to why they want to marry her. You know what I mean? So he sees her as being, as caring as a person of his mom. And I think that's, like, obviously very important for him. He says that she is a traditional Jewish mom, very attentive to him and maybe other kids. I don't know if he has siblings. He does say that, he doesn't care in terms of the religion because he's Jewish, she's Buddhist, so he doesn't necessarily care about her converting or anything like that. So I know I'm going to assume here he's a Reformed Jew, not an Orthodox Jew. And which, by the way, I have not talked Forbidden Love yet. I just realized that as I'm literally going through this episode, realizing, oh shoot, I forgot an episode. So yeah, we got to discuss Forbidden Love still. But he does say that for his kids, though, he does kind of want some form of the religion, of the culture, being in their children's lives. And she seems pretty okay with that because she's like, listen, I have friends that are Jewish. She's, partaken in some of, that's not a word, but she's definitely been a part of some of the Jewish traditions with friends. And she's done, she's broken bread with friends and stuff like that. So she's definitely understanding. And she's saying different things in, like, Hebrew as well. So, like, she is seems to be pretty and, like, understanding of the religion. But she does also say that because I am Buddhist and she takes that very seriously, she also wants to have her kids understand Buddhism as well. And he is all about that. He's like, listen, I can't expect you to include Judaism into our children's lives and me say no to Buddhism. Like, that would be kind of fucked, right? So the idea of a Jewish Buddhist kids or family sounds fun, he says. And with that, he gets a rose. And honestly, I was very surprised by him getting a rose, to be totally honest with you. I wasn't expecting that at all because I feel like he does, kind of like what Jenn says in the beginning of the date, is a little bit more behind in comparison to the other guys. So I'm actually really shocked with how this turns out with the rose ceremony, that's how it turns out. Like, yeah, but we'll talk about it in the second half of the episode. So we're going to take a break here. And when we come back, we will jump in with the second half of the episode with Ava. Hi everyone. So I have a new song for you to listen to. This song is by Angel Creatives and it's called Hello. I did get this song from the PodSafe Music Directory, which is on the World Podcast Network. So if you like a song and you want to listen to it, you want to download it, you can go down to the show notes where there will be a link to the songs, including a link to the PodSafe Music Directory, which is again on the World Podcast Network. Without further ado, I'm going to play that song for you now.
Hey, hello, in the morning, hey, hello, at noon, hey, hello, evening, hey, hello, 24/7, hey, hello, in the morning, hey, hello, at noon, hey, hello, 24/7. Hey, hello.
All right, so here we are talking the group date and what follows on The Bachelorette with Ava. Ava's here.
Hi, back at it again, talking shit.
So let's get to it. So we got Jenn. We see her at a radio show with Jason and Molly. And
OGs in the house.
OGs in the house. They were actually at the same radio show in his season 15 years ago.
Right.
15 years ago.
Wow.
How am I this old? Because I don't remember every minute of the season, but I watched his season. Yeah. So we got the guys coming in, and she says, the connection with Sam is more of a physical connection than an emotional connection. Personally, Sam pisses me all the way off. I don't understand how he's still here.
Yeah.
Their one-on-one date should have been the biggest red flag in history, yet she missed it.
The one where on the rooftop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how he acted and
the laughing,
I'll push you,
encouraging, and joking when she was literally like so nervous about it. Just
a horrible fucking asshole. And yet he still gave him a rose at the end of the night. I don't understand.
You think he's nervous? And he's just, it's like a nervous.
No, I think he's a narcissist.
Okay.
I don't think he's at all nervous.
Mm-hmm.
And he solidifies it with his conversations with her.
Yeah. So
no, he's not nervous. He's an asshole and he's a narcissist. He makes everything about him, and he does it here too. So when they're kind of talking, her and the radio guy, they do ask her, like, who do you have, I think, the strongest connection with, I think, or who you feel the safest with. She says Sam, even though 2 seconds ago she literally says, like, it's more physical than emotional, but yet, like, I see there's red flags there, but yet I feel the safest with him.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, there's a huge disconnect there. It doesn't make sense to me.
No, I literally wrote, make that make sense.
Yeah.
Because that doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
So Devin is like, radio show talking. I'm in my element. Yeah, because he talks a lot, but I do like Devin. I don't know
about Devin. So his whole feud, let's say, with Sam was a turnoff for me. I feel like he is a bit arrogant, and I feel like
Devin?
He's dominant, and I don't buy into so much of his his story of just to make himself seem like poor me kind of thing. I don't know, like he grew up chunkier and then he lost all this weight or whatever his situation he said was. Like
that was part of it.
I don't know. So now he's like this super extrovert that's like, I'm going to take what's mine. And I don't know, this assertiveness and I don't know how to feel about it, if it's 100% genuine. And I don't know if I'm buying it. But then in other moments, I'm like, oh, he's so cute. Like, this is cute.
I see what you're saying with that.
About him.
I mean, he could have always been that way, chunky or not, that he kind of has this assertive attitude. It could be a defense mechanism. I don't know. But in his defense with the feud with Sam, it had nothing to do with Sam. It went over and beyond because Sam inserted himself. The argument started between him and Aaron. And because Sam doesn't like him, which whatever, fine, you don't have to like him, he inserts himself into the argument, even though it initially had nothing to do with him.
Right.
So same thing with Thomas. Thomas had nothing initially to do with him either. Fuck him.
Thomas is so annoying.
I hate Thomas.
To swat his ass like a fly. I can't believe he lasted this long.
Me neither.
This
Me neither.
They never had not one connection, not moment. Did he even kiss her?
I don't think so.
Like, sir, why are you on the show? Like, I'm sorry, I don't get it.
And
He
like
has this
you,
tiny man's complex, like he's so
yes,
small, and
he
he's just
he
act.
literally wants to confront Devin about, whatever the fuck. But you go while he's talking to Jen, and instead of saying, "Can I have time with Jen?" you pull Devin aside.
Like, bro, you're on the wrong show.
I'm like, are you dumb?
That's so funny.
So stupid. But yeah, I just want to like to say in his defense, like that's what was happening. It was people compare a little bit with Maria, but Maria was worse. Maria was full blown bullied for just being herself. There's
Mhm.
nothing wrong with her. Devin, he partially puts it on himself a little bit, but you know, he did nothing egregious. He did nothing that anyone else wouldn't have done in his position. He
Mhm.
was just smart enough to do it. He's pulled her aside to do the gelato thing. He talked to her during the sheep situation. The reason he won that is because he took the initiative that Jen wanted people to do. That's the difference. Ava's choking at the moment. Give her a minute.
Sorry. Believe it or not, I was actually a bit sick for like a week, but only in my throat.
Oh, oh,
Yeah, but I've been juicing, like I've been doing the ginger shots, and I think it's helping me, but it also makes my throat like really tickly.
yeah.
Okay, hopefully I'm okay. But
Okay.
yeah, so then he's doing everything he's supposed to do. That's the name of the show. Like that's the game of the show. So if you're gonna be mad at that, really be mad at yourself because you're not doing what you're supposed to.
Exactly.
He's showing the girl that he's here for her. He came on the show for her and he's pursuing her. This is how you do it, right? So if
Exactly.
you're mad at that, then you're not doing enough. Don't be mad at his connection. I just feel that he's a little bit arrogant about it. Like he's a little
Yeah.
bit he's like, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't feel like all of that's necessary. Do what you're doing. That's great. But
I
just
think maybe, I think maybe for me, I don't see it as much because I think Sam is more
yeah, gross.
egregious than
But yeah.
Devin is. So
Yeah.
with Sam gone now, maybe I'll see it differently. We'll see. But spoiler alert. So they decide they're going to do some rapid fire. Oh, before we get to that though, Devin does mention, I do think that Sam is going to be in trouble here. And damn, was he right?
Trouble. Yeah. Yeah.
So they start the rapid fire. We're going to do it quick. We're not going to go through everybody. We're mainly going to focus on Sam in his responses because he's the one that's in trouble here. So Sam is asked, fantasy suite. First word that comes to your mind. This guy says aggressive.
Wow.
What does that mean?
Wow.
What does that
Why I'm
mean?
asking if you think he's nervous when he gets put on the spot. Because like with his solo moments with Jen and with her, they're mostly making out, flirting,
Mm,
not deep diving into conversations and really diving and getting to know each other on a deeper level. So he's able to like, get a 1-2 word in, let's make out. Get a 1-2 word in, let's make out. Like it's that seems to be their thing, like hot and heavy, steamy, this magnetism between them, that attraction, whatever. But then when
mm.
he's in a group setting like this and he has to talk, that's what I'm asking. Do you think he's nervous? And he's just been like getting by
He's been coasting.
Jen, and now she's seeing the real him because she hasn't allowed herself to really see the real him because her tongue's been down his throat. Like, you know, like she's not
Yeah.
focusing on what she's supposed to be. So I just don't think that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like he's just like nervous. Yes, he's an asshole, but like, I also feel like he gets nervous too. And he just doesn't know. He's just saying all the wrong things. I also do think they are his true feelings, but they're just not coming out right. And he's not able to think fast enough and smart enough to like conceal it. Like, you know what I mean?
I think maybe in the radio show moment, he is nervous. I will
Yeah.
give him that.
Yeah.
The issue though I have with it is it's one thing if you're nervous in the moment and you explain that to her and say, listen, like speaking on the spot makes me really nervous. I get flustered, whatever. Um, and you kind of fix it. You do damage control.
Mhm.
Instead, he just doubles down. And that's the problem. Like,
Honestly, he was digging holes after
oh
holes.
my, it was looking like Shia LaBeouf in holes.
Yeah, it was so bad. I felt bad for him. I did for a
I
moment.
didn't.
I was like, you know, when you watch something and your mouth is like open, and you're like, you can't believe this is happening.
The amount
You're
of times I wrote, what
like,
the fuck?
somebody save him. Somebody say something.
No,
Nobody did.
no,
Like the
no.
guys, the commentary with the guys, like the back room
That
was
was good.
killing me.
I was dying.
They're like,
Devin was dying as well.
especially when they were asking him about selflessness, and Devin was like, he doesn't even know what that means. I was
No,
like, Lord.
no. But like the thing is, it's like I don't want anyone to save him. I don't think he deserves to be saved. I think he deserves everything that's coming to him right now. Maybe that makes me a cold-hearted bitch, but I I can live with that. I'm fine with it. So
Yeah.
yeah, so he says aggressive, weird, weird. But anyway, they do ask like, Sam, how do you feel about Jen? You know, like you have everyone else saying all of these really nice things that describe her, and you have this idiot saying fire, strong passion. I have been falling in love with, um, no, I thought he was going to say I've been falling in love with her. Instead, what he says is, like, if you think that I've been falling in love with you, I think something around the lines is like, well, nope, like that wouldn't be true. And I'm like,
What?
wait, what? Like, I was actually very confused by his question, so by his answer. It's either he said, no, I'm not falling in love with you, or yes, I'm falling in love with you. I was very confused,
Yeah.
but I took it as no, he's actually not falling in love with her, or like it wouldn't have happened this quickly, or whatever. He's just kind of rambling. That's the problem. He's rambling, and none of it makes any sense.
He's nervous. Like he was
Yeah.
nervous as fault. Like it just was so bad.
At the end of
This
the
was
day, at the end of this too, he kind of didn't actually answer the question.
none of them. He answered nothing.
No, no, but
He had
this was
no
bad.
clear answers to anything.
I mean, technically, he did answer the fantasy suite question, but it just didn't make sense.
Exactly. Whatever he tried to answer didn't make sense.
No, he. So Jen is like, the one. No, sorry, Jason. Jason says like after they kind of do these questions, says, okay, there's like one person who needs to hang back, who we feel like doesn't actually know Jen enough. So Sam, you're gonna stay. Everyone else is gonna go. So we can see if you guys can get to know each other even a little bit more than you clearly do.
Then just
Um,
saying that is also more pressure on him. It's like, so he's
True.
nervous before. This is like, oh shit. Like
Now you're on your own.
you could see like little sweat pellets on his forehead. Like he
Yeah,
was sweating bricks.
but is he sweating because he's nervous, or is he sweating because he knows he's a bullshit?
Yeah, I was just gonna say. I was
Like, I
just
don't know.
yeah.
I'm gonna say I do know. I think it's because he's a bullshitter, but because but the thing is, he is a bullshitter because prior to this, if you remember when he kind of said, "Oh, you make me nervous,"
Mhm.
and I can't remember what he followed up with, but it was something like that. It was after the stripping date. He literally recited a movie. It's from a movie. I can't remember which movie it is now, but it's
Did she call him on it? Did
yes,
she
and someone did some sleuthing and they found out exactly which movie it was. I've seen the movie before. I just can't remember what it's called right now.
oh,
Um, Actually, I think my mom was watching that movie like a few weeks back. That's why I remembered, oh yeah, that movie. So
wow.
yeah,
So this was
this,
all a game to him.
it's all a game to him. So yeah, someone asked, I don't know if whoever it is, someone asked him, um, like, what was your first impression of Jen? And he's like, I almost didn't come, and I got out that limo and thought like this girl is not my type.
Wow.
He literally says this girl's not my type. And I'm like, is that supposed to make her feel
Brand
better?
new information, by the way.
Right? He
He's
never mentioned this
never
before.
said to her.
No.
Never. Now on air, you're gonna let everybody know.
Yep.
He's not your
His words after this is that he thought the Bachelorette was going to be Daisy or Maria.
Wow. Lord have mercy.
So you're literally saying the people who went further than she did, who are
Right.
white,
Right.
you thought they were going to be the
Yep.
Bachelorette.
Blonde hair, blue eyes. Yep.
Well, Maria doesn't have blonde hair or blue eyes, but Daisy does.
Yeah.
and and I can see him. Maria would chew him up and spit him back out.
Maria would not tolerate none of his
Mm-mm.
shit. So that's why I'm saying Daisy. He really wants to.
Yes, but that also would have worried the hell out of me because Daisy very similarly, I think, has some has some issues with like how she views herself
Yeah.
due to everything she's gone through.
Yeah.
I would have been so worried if
Yeah.
he even got his claws into her.
Yeah.
But she's okay. She's happy. She's in another relationship. She's living life, so it's fine. So it's at this point I started writing what the fuck because I'm like, this guy can't be serious.
Yeah.
What is happening here? He's like, obviously you're stunning. Like it's no hit on you or anything like that. And it's like,
Wow.
wow, okay. It's like literally you want to scream, stop, 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 because you're not helping. I'm happy you're not helping yourself, but you're not helping
Yeah.
yourself. And he's like, I'm just gonna trust the process. I understand what you're saying, but in this case, you shouldn't trust
Right.
the process.
Sir,
Like, are
who
you?
is next week? Like what is this bombshell you're dropping? What is this revelation? Like now is not the time.
Yeah. And like, I'm wondering, like, are you just trying to stick around as long as possible so that you can have a running to be in Bachelor in Paradise?
Yeah,
I think that's exactly what you're trying to do.
that's what it's looking like.
And that's exactly what's going to happen. And then he's going to have a nice guy edit, and I'm going to like him again, just like I like the last guy I didn't like.
Yeah. And he's just I'm so misunderstood and I was nervous and I took a pill and like whatever. Like they're just gonna
Brayden. It was Brayden. I hated Brayden. Now I like Brayden. You see what the show does?
yeah.
Anyways. So, but she's like, but what is it about me that you I want to have even asked that question. He literally told you it's not you. I didn't even think it would be you. So why are you then going to think or still ask him, well, what is it about me?
Yeah. But then I feel like he may have even said like in the beginning when they did he get the first impression rose?
He did.
Didn't I feel like he would have told her like you're my type, like you're gorgeous,
Probably. Or maybe he didn't say it in those many words. He would have at least, like, he did enough for her to think you're at least physically attracted to me.
or like, maybe when he got out the limo, like so happy it was you kind of thing. I feel like I'm getting something like that from him before.
I kind of want to go back and watch and find out.
Because
But
I'm really curious because now this is really confusing because she was hella confused and so was I.
and so have I.
Given her another impression that like so glad it was you, like,
I mean, you guys haven't been like all up in each other's faces at this point, and you all of a sudden are saying, "Oh, you thought it was going to be Daisy or Maria."
Well,
Like, how horrible too that like you would feel that you would say that. Because like obviously she's over the whole Joey situation or whatever, but she wasn't picked by Joey. Yeah, so it's I don't know. I can't remember what we're saying. But anyways, what were we saying?
that was his type.
Yeah, yeah. It just doesn't make sense that all of a sudden now she's not his type. Um. So yeah, she's like, "What is it about me?" And he says, "You're selfless." And that's like something he obviously wants in a relationship, which I'm not going to fault him on that. And she's like, but how do you know that I'm selfless? Like I love that she's asking these questions because it's like, what have you observed? What do you know that makes me selfless? You know?
So good on
And
her for that.
even if you mentioned her profession, that is such a selfless profession that she's in. You could have
Yeah,
even said that.
exactly. That was right in front of your face. You could have said it.
Do you even know what she does? Maybe you don't because you haven't been paying attention.
You know what? I wouldn't put it past him. I don't think he probably even remembers.
No. And he he says, well, either you're selfless or you're full of shit. He literally says, either you're selfless or you're full of shit.
Well, this is gonna go down in the history of like the worst dates ever. I
Worst.
can't remember seeing something this bad. Like he was crashing and burning, like he was in flames. Like the fire department came and
Couldn't
they're
take it
like,
out. Couldn't put it out.
we're just gonna hang out front just in case.
Yeah.
Because this guy was on fire. It
Yeah.
was so
So
bad.
bad. So bad. Like I'm dead.
Just when you
Devin is also dying.
right? Like he was eating like he was so he was like, this guy's done. Like there's
He's
no
loving
way.
it though, because he
Yeah,
hates Sam,
yeah,
but he's loving it.
yeah. Oh my,
Crashing and burning.
yeah. It was horrible.
But I guess to recover, because like you hear the kind of guys, I'm sure he can't hear them, but the guys are literally saying, like, what is it about her? Like, say something about her. So
Mhm.
he's like, so this is how I know you're selfless, right? So like the first night, that or the night that we had our connection, um, it was hot. What? You're saying that the connection you developed with her is hot and that makes her selfless. Again, I wrote, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And he's like, you kept me in a closet.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Again, I wrote, what the fuck? This is
Yeah.
literally my thought process watching this. So I'm like, what? And he's like, I'm, what did I write here? Oh yeah, I'm so serious. Like, I guess about her. And she says, like, how could you be sure, like, you're ready for engagement, basically? And he's like, well, like, my love language is physical touch. No shit. And, um, you,
Language he has, I think.
yeah, it basically is like, again, but either way, what does the physical touch have to do with whether or not you're ready for an engagement? I'm confused.
Yeah.
Um, oh, I think I missed this part. He's like, or she said, do you even know me? And I think he stopped breathing at this point. Did you hear that gas thing he did? He's like, someone get him oxygen. The
Oh, man.
smoke has entered his lungs. Oh, this is what happens. He's like, yeah, my love language is touch. So let me kiss you. So they kiss. And she
Yeah.
lets him. And I
Yeah.
literally was thinking, again, I wrote, what the fuck?
You know what? It's kind of it like I feel it's not like she didn't have a choice, but it was like
You had a choice.
he like sprung it on her and like I could it's sometimes you're just in this awkward position where you're just like, oh shit, like
I
and
guess. I
I
mean,
don't
she
know.
did say down cowboy or whatever, but like,
Yeah,
I'm a
that
down
was
cowboy.
yeah. He was just literally trying to like shut her up.
Yes.
Don't do what let's do what we
He
always do.
silenced her. He
Yeah.
silenced her.
No, no talking, more kissy. Like he's
Yeah.
just trying to like talk, which is what I told you. That's their relationship. That's what they've always done. It's like a little bit of talking. How did you like the group date? Great. Make out, make out. Oh, you're teasing me so hard. And make out, make out. Like, like there's no substance to their relationship. There never was.
No,
And
never.
now
And she knew this.
yeah.
And she still like stuck it out with him.
She should have really like I don't know. I don't have a good example for this other than let's say you get fired out of nowhere. And leading up to it, you had no inkling that you would get fired because things to you seem to have been going well. You didn't
Mhm.
get no progressive discipline, you didn't get written up, you didn't get nothing. You just got fired.
Yeah.
This guy in this sense, it's almost like he just got fired because I've never seen her like put him on the spot in this way other than right here, right now. Like in those other dates that she's had with him, those moments, one-on-one, cocktail parties, whatever, she's never held his feet to the fire and say, what is it about me that you like? Why in this moment you just laid it on him? Like, like she should have done that as well. Not because the pressure of hometowns is next week, then all of a sudden you want to pick his brain. It's like you should have
Yeah,
done
you should have
like
done it before.
I'm not
You
gonna
literally had the Australian bachelorettes literally say to her, I made that mistake. Don't make that mistake. Your
yes,
relationship with him is mirroring that.
yes.
That should have been the indication.
When they were on that group date where they were like
The
dancing,
stripping.
the stripping one, and those
Yeah.
two people, I'm like, yo, watch out, because
Yeah.
they're the ones that are like not gonna work out,
Ugh, I don't
in
get
the
it.
ship, and she still didn't.
No, because he's hot, is what she kept saying. He's hot. It's like, okay, but him being hot isn't enough.
I don't think he's hot. He's okay.
He he was okay when I first saw him, when I didn't hear his voice nor heard him talk. And then when he started showing his ass, I'm like,
Yeah,
I'll
he's
stick
giving
to
a
90 Day. I'll stick to Love is Blind UK.
little yes,
Yeah.
that's hard, jam.
So we're at the night portion, and she kind of just walks in and says, y'all, everyone was great, blah, blah, blah. But except, there was one conversation that I had which made me feel unsettled. And what's funny here is at one point, I might have written it down, but I can't remember. I'll say it now. At one point, Devins kind of says to Sam, he's like, listen, not to be disrespectful or anything, but did you think that she was talking about you, Sam? And Sam is so fucking clueless, or maybe it's just the narcissism. I don't know, where he's literally like, nah, man, I think our conversation was good.
I think he just doesn't want to lose face, right? Like
In
he's
what universe
front runner. He thinks he's
he
a front.
feels he thinks he is, yeah. I don't think he is. And I don't think he
But
really ever was a
Devin,
front runner.
Devin to be the one to point this shit out. Do you get what I mean?
Right?
This is why I have like not a love-hate relationship with Devin, but it's like sometimes just shutty. Focus on the girl,
No, it
okay?
was funny though. It was great. I loved it.
Like, don't press a button. Just leave him alone. Because then
Eh,
when you get up and shit, it looks bad on you. Like, I
But
don't know.
he did ask it. Like he didn't like say, like, if he said it like,
Oh, he
she was talking about you, right? That's
it's
one thing. He twisted it.
yeah, he's shade. He's being manipulative in that
Yeah.
way. Like, I know exactly what he's doing.
I
He's
loved it.
being petty.
So Grant in this moment tells her that, I already chose you. He's fallen in love with her. Yep. And Devin says that I want to bring someone home that both me and my mom are proud of. And he's like, and that's you, like fully, it's you. So that's nice.
Her and Devin have
And
moments though. They do
hmm?
have her and Devin, they have nice moments. They have
Yeah,
conversation, nice moments. They talk about their cultures, their upbringing, that kind of thing. So I think they have a pretty good. If he's not top two, I would be shocked.
I would be shocked.
Yeah.
I would be shocked. But she does tell him, and only him, that she's falling for him.
Yeah.
So that's something.
I wasn't surprised by that.
I wasn't
But
surprised by it, but I was surprised in the sense of he's the only one that she said it to.
yeah. I
Yeah.
thought I would tell it to that other little man.
Jonathan?
Yeah.
I can see that. Yeah. I could see her saying at some point, but I don't know.
The other guy she gave the hometown to came out of left field. I'm sorry. Who the hell is he again?
Jeremy.
Who's that?
Well, he's one of but I get confused between him and Spencer because they look the same. But
All y'all look like.
the only white guys left, you two look alike.
Honestly, I don't know who the hell he is. I can picture his face, but I just don't know where he came from. I don't remember
I
him
think
from.
he was the guy that came in. You remember the guy who came in with the sports car?
No.
Okay.
Oh yes, and that
That's
guy
him.
bullied him out of the car.
Yeah.
Like, sir, how do you let that shit happen? Come on.
Who gave him the keys? Someone in production gave him the keys.
Oh my goodness.
He said, this is going to be great.
And how, like, because I can't remember him, I'm just baffled how he was chosen
Yeah,
as.
I don't understand how he got a rose over Grant.
Yeah, at least go to hometown, see what Grant's about. Damn.
I don't
Grant
under,
brothers. Damn.
I don't understand how Grant did not get a rose. I'm
Yeah,
so confused by it. I thought for sure he was going to be in the top four.
I thought so too.
So shocked.
But
So
it's all good, girl. We got a whole season of Grant, so bye.
I know that's true.
Thank you.
So Sam is up next, and she tells him, today I felt like you just didn't understand me, and something is off. And I feel like in this moment, he's barely listening to her, or at least not processing what she's saying.
All of the above.
And he keeps like, you notice how he kept clearing his throat. He's like, because you're lying like a rug.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's why.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Maybe even prepare something to say. Like, like,
no,
but no, like he has so much to say, but he's
he's
just like,
saying nothing.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's having a hard time coming out.
yeah,
Like, because it's so full of shit. Like, oh my gosh.
yeah. And I think he kind of says like, "How do I know it's you? I don't know it's you. I just trust the process." Again, there he is with trusting the process. And she says like, "Why me?" In this moment, again, he's sweating bullets. Now, are you sweating bullets because you're nervous, or are you sweating bullets because you're being caught in your shit?
Yeah.
I don't know. And he's like, "Because I love you."
Oh boy.
And in this moment, like, wait. What? You
Yeah.
were literally just saying a moment ago that you thought it was going to be Maria and Daisy, but you're falling in love with her. And she literally says, Sam, stop.
That you like about her. Yeah.
Yeah. And she says, stop. Like, she says, like, what? And he's like, this is it. I wrote, what the fuck? And she's like, we don't know each other. You can't even express to me what it is about me that you like or you love. So this is obviously very confusing. And she says, I think we need like more time to kind of get there and get on the same page. So she's basically saying, thank you for the I love you, but I'm going to return to sender.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Thank you.
thank
Yeah.
you now. But back with the guy there, she kind of says in this moment that she is not going to be handing out a group date rose. So all roses will be handed out at the rose ceremony. Okay, so now we're at, well, supposed to be heading into the rose ceremony, but we see that opening scene again of her looking for Sam, but she does eventually find him after going to the main room, another room, and then this room. She finally finds him, and she's like, let's have a chat. And he says, I'm sorry for, how that, the date went, but I had to fall in love again. What? I still don't understand.
Yeah.
I'm confused. She's confused. Everyone's confused. And she's like, what does it mean to you to love somebody? And he says, love is selfless, it's sacrifice, it's validation. Um,
Ferocious. I think he keeps saying ferocious love too. Like he keeps repeating
because she said ferocious
it
love
at that one time.
one
And
time.
he did it, ran with it. Now that's what
Yeah.
he never says. Like as if it was his idea.
And no, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And she's like, it's hard to believe you. And he says, it's hard for me to put my feelings into words, which is fine if you led with that,
Yeah.
you know? And he's like, I feel like, or I think he said, I feel like I'm downplaying. Sir, you're not even saying anything to downplay anything. And he's like, you'll see the love when you see my friends and my family. of course she's going to see that. And she says that. She's like, of course I want to see that. You love your friends and your family. But how do you love me?
Yeah.
He's like, I could say all of these different things about you that you have, but there are other people. And I'm thinking he's going to say there are other people here who, maybe can describe things better or whatever.
Yeah.
Instead, he says, there are other people who share your characteristics.
Lord have mercy. And the hole got bigger.
Yep. You just got Sigourney Weaver saying there, dig, 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 and you're just digging.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. This guy,
Um,
this guy's construction company is gonna blow the fuck up because he's a digger.
and
Like,
he can dig a hole for you.
yep,
No problem.
yep.
And he's like, I feel like you're kind of like waiting for words to come out and whatever. Yes, sir, we all are. We are all waiting for words to come out of your mouth so that we can understand.
His ex-girlfriend is probably sitting at home watching this, like, mm-hmm.
I
Like,
honestly have questions for his ex-fiance.
yeah,
I have
yeah.
questions
Because he
because
cheated on him,
he
right?
said she cheated on him. Now, either he's lying about that and he potentially could cheat on her, or he, has to somehow make it about her. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Or she did cheat for real, because you can't talk to him.
Exist, and this is all a story to make him look more, everybody needs a story on shows like this. Like they need a story, they need a background story, something sappy, something make
Yeah.
them likable, humanize them, whatever, right? I think this is his.
I
There's any truth to it.
I mean, I'm not saying that a woman isn't capable of cheating.
Yeah.
However,
No.
I
Yeah.
find it hard to believe that he didn't also.
Yeah.
Or at some point has. Like he's making himself seem like I'm this great guy. I've never cheated before. I was cheated on. And it's like,
Yeah.
are you really wanting to believe you've never cheated?
Yeah.
Because
Because
I
by the
don't believe
sense
it.
of how he's behaving right now, there's no way it was just this girl's fault.
No,
Like I can't see it.
no.
I can't see it for sure.
So he says like night one, your energy, it soothed my nerves.
Wow.
Okay. And she's like, but that's just energy. Like I
Yeah.
don't give a shit about energy, which I love. I love finally someone can say, fuck your energy. I don't care about that. um And he's like, you cheers to a ferocious love. And it's just like, is that the only thing you can say? Ferocious love, ferocious love. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
And she says, love isn't a script,
Mhm.
but he's definitely thinking he's in a movie
Mhm.
and he has created a script for himself. And he's like, I felt life again. Like, this guy can't be serious.
I feel like he may have came into this with a game plan,
I
kind
think
of like
so.
a guy that I don't know, I don't remember whose season, but he came on and he had like a notebook that was found in his luggage of him like, listing out things that he was going to do to make himself more likable and go the furthest in the experience. Like he was really like determined to make it far. And remember, we were discussing at that time, like maybe it's a producer's plant or whatever, right? Like,
Maybe. Yeah.
but this guy's giving me like the same vibes. Like he just came in to like really work this girl and not really get to know her because even being asked the simplest of questions you had no answers to and none of them made sense, none of them were of substance. It just makes me think that you were in it to just further yourself.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
every question that was put to him, he worked himself back into it. Like it was never about her.
No. No. He constantly made it about himself.
Yeah.
Constantly. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, so he also says like the stripping date, it just kind of poured into my emotional cup. How? I don't know. She doesn't know either. And he said in the one-on-one, you yearn for a love that is powerful, it's endless. And she's like, okay, what else? what else? Like she's wanting to hear this a sliver of it's about me. And
Mm-hmm.
she's not getting that. And he's like, well, first you have no idea how much I appreciate you. Now I see it. I love you. And again, she's like, okay, can we take a step back? Because how?
Yeah.
You know? Um, but he said, you need to understand, you saw the best in me when I couldn't. Uh, okay. And she's like, okay, but like where, like what move, like I wrote, what movie are you getting this from? Because this is ridiculous. She takes a minute because she needs to. And she comes back eventually and she's like, this is all about you. You don't even ask me how I feel about anything.
Yeah.
Anything. So everything that I said to you, you didn't hear?
Wow.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
That's
It,
now gaslighting her and the fact that she knows you're bullshitting her, but you want her to take your bullshit
yeah.
and the fact that she's not. That's a problem, obviously.
Exactly.
And I'm like, I wrote, did you hear her? You didn't hear her. Of everything she's asking from you, you didn't hear her. And she says, you are exactly like the guys in my past, and I'm done with it. So bye-bye. You need to go. Like,
Yep.
so that's basically it. He packs his stuff up kind of in silence in a minute for a little bit. And
Mm.
to me, he didn't look at all upset.
No.
He doesn't care.
I think he was just probably thinking about, he's like, damn, when this airs, I'm gonna look like shit.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't
I
even
don't
think
think he was concerned.
I don't even think he cares about that.
No.
I don't even think he even is able to look at the fact that people are going to view him in a negative light. He
Mhm.
doesn't think he did anything wrong because he says as much. He says, her energy, it brings dull and it's not my fault. So no, he doesn't think he did anything wrong and he doesn't think that people are going to view him in a bad way because he doesn't think he did anything wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
See
Anyway,
you in VIP, I guess.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Rose ceremony time. And the people who get roses alongside Marcus and Jeremy, which we kind of talked about, came out of left field with Jeremy, is Devin and Jonathan. So that means going home is Grant and Spencer, which we've already kind of talked about. Uh, it's fine with us. We're fine that Grant's gone because he is our next bachelor.
Yep.
Oh,
And we had a whole ass season of him. So
yes.
very happy about that. Thank you. Thank you, Jen. Thank you, girl.
And I actually had done my top four predictions, I think 3 or 4 episodes ago. And I predicted Devin, so I'm right with
Mhm.
that. I also predicted Grant, so that didn't work out the way I thought. I predicted Marcus, so I got that right. I got Marcus right.
Who the hell's Marcus?
What? Marcus is the guy who was in the army? He had the
Oh,
one-on-one
yeah.
date?
Okay, sorry. Wow. Names, girl. They're getting to me. Army vet. Yeah.
Yep. So I got that right. And I did predict Dylan only because I didn't know who else it could have been at that point. But I should have said Jonathan, honestly.
Yeah.
Um, but I did think like they have like this cute little connection because they're both in the medical field. So I thought like, oh yeah, you never know.
Hmm.
It just wasn't, I definitely was not going to be including Sam in that. But I was halfway right with my prediction.
Yeah.
So I guess we're kind of at the point of who do you think is going to win it all?
When?
Win it all.
When?
Win Jen.
Um, I don't know. I feel like it might be Devin because
Yeah.
I feel like he ticks the boxes for her. He is attentive. He validates her. He can come up with three things and more that he likes about her.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, like I don't know. The other guys, I think she has a good connection with Marcus and Jonathan too.
Hmm.
As strong as Devin's, not right now, I don't think. Um, I could kind of see, I don't know, like they're kind of at a tie, Jonathan and Marcus, because her and Marcus kind of had like a similar upbringing in that sense,
Hmm.
and trauma bonding.
Yeah.
And and then with Jonathan, she has this like almost kind of this intellectual relationship where it's still intimate, it's fun, they can have conversations. Like it's kind of well-rounded. So I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I would probably choose Jonathan though, because I feel like maybe Army Vet might have some work left to do, if
I
anything.
mean, Marcus, I really like Marcus.
Yeah.
I liked Marcus from moment one.
Yeah.
Um, and I think he could be good for someone once he's kind of done the work.
Yeah.
That is gonna definitely be hard for him to do, but he probably needs to do it. And I do think Devin validates her the most, so I can definitely see him being like,
I feel like it could be him and Jonathan in the
I think
end.
it could be Devin and Jonathan at the end.
I think.
And I definitely do not think Jeremy is making it past
No.
home dates. That's it. He's done after that.
Scene one, act one, he is out
I
of there.
don't understand how he made it to this point, anyways. Like,
He'll be out of there so fast. He can catch a flight with Sam on his way out. Like that's how fast. Is it Sam? What's his name again?
Sam,
It is.
yeah.
Yes, yes. Sorry, we did the UK talk and then I'm just like mixing up names now. But anyways,
That's right. Don't name your kid Sam.
yeah,
That's the moral of the story.
yeah, yeah,
So, well, yeah, I guess we'll see how this turns out
yeah.
the next few
You know,
weeks.
so far she's doing good. I remember I was
Yeah.
telling you at the beginning, like I wasn't really impressed by her. I wasn't like, oh my gosh, she's doing so great. Like, oh my God, love her the way she's talking, she's carrying on, whatever. I thought she was very like basic and I wasn't really impressed by anything she was saying or doing. It wasn't that different from any other women that we've seen in the past, in my opinion. Um yeah, I don't know. It was kind of fun and light for her in the beginning. I guess I don't know if that was a strategy of hers, but yeah, again, I wasn't really too impressed, but in these later episodes, I've been really like, "Okay, girl, now you're buckling down. I guess it's getting more serious. You're weeding out the bad ones." And now I'm like, "Okay, she's putting her foot down a little bit. She's getting a little deeper." That I can appreciate, but like earlier I was just like this felt like me in my 20s dating. Like, like
Well,
not.
she is in her 20s dating.
Yeah, and that's the
Yeah.
thing too. We were even talking about the UK, how like the cast is older.
Hmm.
We can appreciate that. Like when I see the young 20-year-olds with the 20-year-old mindsets, I'm just like, I don't know. I'm not really drawn to that anymore. Like I don't think they know what the fuck is going on. Like
No.
like or really what they're looking for. Like the surface level stuff and just saying for shit like ferocious love. Girl, we're in our fucking 30s. Like, you know,
We don't got
and
time for that.
20s maybe some ferocious banging, maybe some ferocious back shots, but we're not
Definitely.
trying to like,
Definitely.
you know what I mean? Like we're not looking for no fucking ferocious love. So stuff like that, like the corniness of it all from a 20 something year old, I'm just like, girl, I'm not impressed, So
Yeah.
that kind of that's more of what I was talking about. But this last episode with her and Sam, I was like, girl, give it to him. Like,
Yeah.
impressive. So
Well, thank you for coming on.
yes, of course. Anyways, yeah, so we'll see what happens with her in the next few weeks. I'm very
Yep.
optimistic about hometowns.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it all goes. Um, but yeah,
Yeah.
curious to see her family dynamics too, right?
Yeah. We won't see that till a couple more weeks, but yeah.
Yeah, she's spoken a lot about her family and her upbringing and her parents, so would love to see that.
Yeah. So if you like what you heard, please rate, review the podcast on either Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Also, don't forget that you can also share us with everyone in your life if you really love this. And I do want to read those reviews. I'm definitely getting 5-star ratings, but I want to read those reviews. So send me those reviews and I will read those 4 and 5-star reviews on the podcast. Also, we're on every one of your favorite podcast apps, every one of them, including you can find us on YouTube at Reality Tea Times 2. If you want to connect with us, you can do so by going to either Facebook or Instagram at Reality Tea Times 2. You can also find us on Twitter, TikTok, Reddit at Reality Tea Times 2 pod. We also have our email, which is at realityteatimes2 at hotmail.com. Definitely want to hear from you guys. And we also have our new website where you can listen to all of these episodes. You can review the podcast on there as well. You can connect with me in any way, all the stuff. It's all there, and you can find me there at www.realityteatimes2, all spelled out, .podpage.io. It's there. And don't forget, I also have my other podcast with my friend Mikkel, Next Take Podcast, where we talk about all kinds of different topics. But you can find us on any of your favorite podcast apps over there as well. Or you can also go to YouTube, and you go to Next Take Podcast, as well as our website, which is solo.to/Next Take Podcast. So yeah, there's that, and that's basically that. And again, don't forget, if all of this information is overwhelming, we do have all of the links, everything in our show notes. But that is it for now, guys. Thanks. Bye.